Hey yo, and welcome to the dojo. My name is Code, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Twilight Masquerade pre-release. I just got back home from my pre-release, and I wanted to share with you what my archetype was, how I built my deck, and stick around till the end to see some sick nasty pulls that I did get, but wasn't able to fit in my deck at the time. Let's dive right in. So going into the pre-release, if you're unaware, pre-release is a special sealed format where you get a pre-constructed deck of 40 cards, of which one is a cool stamped promo with an alternative art. And then you get 3 additional packs to mix in to try to build the very best deck you can. And if you're unaware, these are the 4 promos that you could possibly get in your pre-release kit. And I, of course, did get the pre-release promo I was going for, and that is my boy, Tatsugiri. Look at that cute little fish. That is such an amazing art. I was so happy that I got this in my Twilight Masquerade pre-release, and we see it has the beautiful Twilight Masquerade stamp on it. Although I will say, although I did want Tatsugiri as my pre-release promo, it is not the best pre-release promo you can get. At least not with the remainder of the deck archetype that I was given. And that deck archetype I was given was the Infernape and Florigus. But let's just dive into the cards and take a peek. So we've already seen this beautiful Tatsugiri. And there's what the normal one looks like. Not quite as cool, but Tatsugiri does have the amazing ability attract customers. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a supporter card you find there, and put it into your hand, shuffle the rest of the cards back into your deck. So very reminiscent of Mysterious Tail Mew, except instead of grabbing an item card in those cards that you see, you're grabbing a supporter, which it's different, but probably better. You can imagine if you grab something like an Arven, for instance, you could go grab an item card anyways and a tool. Your boy does have a 1 retreat cost, so you often do want to pair this guy up with a rescue board if you're using him in a deck. But a good card, you always want to be finding your supporters in pre-release, just like in a normal standard game. Next up, we did get the Chimchar. He was a part of our archetype that was in our deck. The line was a 2-2-1 line. I did not pull any extra, or else I would have included another Infernape. And I was a little upset that with the pre-release kit, I only got 1 Infernape. Infernape is its own promo, so if you had gotten Infernape as your pre-release promo, I imagine you get at least 2 or 3 Infernape to work with. But I was only given 1, so it was kind of hard to get him to work. But Infernape does have this really good ability, Pyro Dance. Once during your turn, you may attach a fire energy or a fighting energy from your hand to a Pokemon in any way you like. And also does have a big ol' attack, Scorching Fire, but you do have to discard an energy if you use this attack. The other archetype I got in my deck was the Flabebe's line, and here I had a 2-3 of the Floette, and I believe I had 2 of the Big Flowers. And this Pokemon has the ability Captivating Innovation. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon to the active spot, and the new active Pokemon is confused. Which this Pokemon, pretty good in the pre-release format. There was no boss's orders, I don't think, of any of the pre-constructed decks. So it was awesome to have a gust on a Pokemon. It is on a coin flip like a Pokemon catcher, but it also makes them confused. So a powerful card. Which leads us to our last 2 Pokemon, which my deck did come with 2 of the loyal 3 Pokemon. I got the Okidogi and the Pheasantipity. We'll start off by talking about the Okidogi. These loyal 3 all will have a very similar ability. Basically, if you have a darkness energy attached to them, they gain a power. Okidogi's power reads that if this Pokemon has a darkness energy attacks, it gets 100 plus health and 100 plus more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this little boy gets 230 HP and does 170 damage for 2 fighting energy. Which seems like it could be kind of hard to get both, 2 fighting and a darkness energy attached, but my pre-release kit did come with 2 luminous energy, and the way luminous energy actually reads is it acts as every energy, but it only counts as 1 energy towards an attack. But that means if I have a fighting energy and a luminous, that luminous at the same time is a fighting energy and a darkness energy. So if I have a luminous and fighting, it fulfills the Adrena power and also the energy requirement for Good Punch. So you can actually use Okidogi if you have the luminous energy attached. And same goes for our Pheasantipity, another member of the Loyal 3. This Pokemon's power is if this Pokemon has a dark energy attached to it, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all damage. Pretty good. You know, you have a Pokemon that can survive any big ol' hits. That's all the Pokemon, so we'll go through the items really quick. We had a Great Ball. We had an S-Ball. We had a Rescue Board, which I already mentioned earlier is really good if you can attach it to your Tatsugiri because it reduces the retreat cost. And they did give us one rare candy. Next up, there was a stadium in the deck, which isn't a great stadium overall, but it's community center. It's new in this set. Once during each player's turn, if they had played a supporter card from their hand, they may heal 10 damage from each of their Pokemon. Meh. But it also does have synergy in a weird way with this next supporter, which is Mr. Caretaker. Draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, and if a community center is in play, shuffle this Caretaker back into your deck instead of discarding it. So it's only a draw 2, but you can keep using it, which any draw cards in a pre-release are good. Next up, you always seem to get a Youngster, which is a shuffle in your hand, draw 5. Parent is a new card in the set. Reveal 2 Pokemon in your hand and put them into your deck. If you do this, search your deck for up to that many Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it allows you to swap out any Pokemon that you may have in your hand for any other Pokemon you may have in your deck. I definitely used Parent in every matchup I had because you need to get those evolution lines going so you can swap one Pokemon for another. Pretty cool. And we did play 2 of the Parent. Next up, Nimona Classic, just draw 3. Hassle is a hassle, and he has the effect that if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during the last turn, you can look at the top 8 cards of your deck and put 3 of them into your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. So kind of like, you know, another Raihan type card. If you have a Pokemon that's knocked out, you can kind of do something powerful. Not bad as a one-of. And you gotta let him cook, folks. Heal 70 damage from your active Pokemon. I did use Cook once. And the rest of the cards are just energies. I did play 2 Luminous because that's all I got in the kit, and that works really good for the Loyal 3. I did play 2 Fighting Energies because it worked for the Okidogi, and also the Infernape can accelerate Fighting Energies. Speaking of Infernape, since we're playing him, we better play some Fire Energies, of which I did play 4. And my last 4 cards were 4 Psychic Energies. And that was my deck. How did it go for me? I went 1-3 in the pre-release. Like I said, I didn't have much faith in this deck. I don't think Tatsugiri is the most competitive of the pre-release promos, but it was definitely my personal most desired, so I was happy anyways. And anytime you get to play with a bunch of new cards, you're always having fun. And I mentioned earlier, in your pre-release kit, you do get a couple bonus packs, and at the end of the pre-release event, you also get some additional packs. So we got a bunch of bulk from this set. We're not going to dive into that today. If you would like to see that, stay tuned to the channel. In about a week and a half, I will have a booster box opening where we'll really start to analyze a lot of the cards. But like I mentioned earlier, I did get a few hits. The one card I did draw in my kit, but I wasn't able to play, was the Greninja EX. It's sad that I didn't have a Froakie because I would have tried to fit this bad boy in there. Ninja is a cool new stage 2 that is in Twilight Masquerade. First attack reads, for 1 water, you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Doing 170 plus a search for 1 water is pretty dang good, if you ask me. Ninja also has a lot of health, and you notice he is not a water type. He is a Terra Pokemon, so he does get the Terra effect on him as well. Next, after the event was over, in my bonus packs, I did draw this beautiful Feeny, looking rather cute. That is a gorgeous card if you ask me. You can see a Wailord right there chilling. In fact, there's whales all over the card. Feeny's just having a good old time. Oh, and there's a little bit of pink. That's right, I did get an A-Spec. Sadly, it wasn't in my kit, it was in my bonus packs. But hey, we got one of the best A-Specs that's in this upcoming set. Unfair Stamp, baby. Let's go. And for those of you that are unaware, Unfair Stamp reads, you can use this card only if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, then you draw 5 and your opponent draws 2. You can imagine this being a very big swing card that can be played at a lot of stages of the game, but probably most impactful if you can play it very early in the game after your opponent takes an early KO, because then you reduce their hand down, maybe they can't draw out of it, and maybe the 5 bonus cards that you get here can turn the tide in your favor. And that was it. Just a quick video today. I wanted to give you an update in case you have a pre-release event coming up. Maybe you can use some of this intel in building your deck. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below if you've had your pre-release event and what promo you pulled or what promo you are looking for. And hey, if you want to see more of this content and more Pokemon TCG action, hit that subscribe button or check out a recent video. But until next time, peace.